A well-managed PPC budget is crucial for successful advertising performance. In this video, I'm going to cover the basics of PPC budget planning, calculation methods, optimization tips, and tracking insights. So, let's get started. When planning your PPC budget, you need to use various data points to inform your strategy. The common practice is to start with keyword research. Search engines and their ad platforms offer data on keyword search volume and average cost per click, CPC, which is a good starting point for estimating your campaign costs. For example, Google Ad Keyword Planner provides insights into search volumes and suggested bid amounts for specific keywords. This means you can estimate your overall budget by grouping keywords that are relevant to your campaign. Microsoft Advertising also offers search volume data and average CPCs, allowing you to plan your campaign budget. The same goes for ad platforms. But you need to note that Meta ads, X ads, and LinkedIn ads have differing average costs per click or impression, which can vary by industry. Understanding these variations is crucial for accurate budget planning. Using this data, you can already start calculations. First, determine the expected number of clicks and multiply it by the average CPC to calculate your total anticipated cost. This straightforward calculation helps establish realistic budget expectations for different platforms and industries. If you've run campaigns before, your historical data is a goldmine for budget planning. Analyzing your previous cost per lead, CPL, or cost per purchase, CPP, can help you make more accurate predictions for future investments. Knowing your previous CPL, multiply it by the number of leads you want to generate in your new campaign. This will help you estimate the budget fairly accurately. For e-commerce, multiply your historical CPP by the desired number of sales to get the budget needed to achieve your sales goals. But be careful with historical data. The ad platform's algorithms constantly change, and seasonal fluctuations or demand surges can also affect user behavior. That's why, before delving into the details of PPC budget calculations, it's essential to follow several critical steps. Set your PPC goals. To boost brand visibility, prioritize metrics like impressions, reach, and traffic. Broader keywords will help you capture a wider audience. For lead generation through forms, focus on CTR, conversion rates, and cost per lead. To drive sales, monitor the number of purchases and the cost per acquisition, CPA. Select keywords with firm purchase intent and create compelling ads with clear calls to action. To achieve customer engagement, invest your budget in platforms where your customers are most active. Develop engaging, interactive ads customized for your current customer segments. Determine bid amounts. The amount you'll pay for each click on your ad is a crucial part of the PPC strategy. Bid amounts can vary significantly depending on several factors. First, keywords with higher search volume and relevance typically require higher bids due to increased advertiser demand. Use keyword research tools to assess this aspect and adjust your bids accordingly. Second, industry standards play a role. Benchmarks, such as average CPCs, can help you set competitive bids. Finally, you should factor in the value of a conversion to your business. If a conversion, such as a sale or a lead, has a high value, you might justify a higher bid. Conversely, you'll need to manage your bids more carefully for lower value conversions to maintain profitability. Balancing these elements ensures the bids align with your budgetary goals. Decide on the duration of your campaign, whether it's a few weeks, months, or for a specific event. Then make sure that your budget is enough to cover the entire duration. This is crucial to ensure consistent ad visibility and performance throughout the period and avoid disruptions that could negatively affect your results. It's also a good practice to consider potential adjustments or extensions to your campaign that may require additional budget allocation. Select your keywords. The keywords you choose directly impact the cost and effectiveness of your campaigns. High competition keywords usually require a higher budget because of increased bid costs. Choose keywords that align with your offerings to assess campaign costs better. Consider ad quality and relevance. Improve the quality and relevance of your ads to attract more clicks. This can even lower your cost per click and improve ad positioning on search results pages. Allocate your budget to enhance these aspects. Remember about testing and optimization. Allocate a portion of your budget for A/B testing different ad elements, such as headlines, descriptions, and landing pages, to improve performance. Experiment with different ad placements and targeting options to find the most cost-effective strategies. Try various bidding strategies, such as manual bidding versus automated strategies like CPA or return on ad spend targeting. Pay attention to seasonality and trends. Budget adjustments based on seasonal peaks and industry trends are essential for PPC strategy optimization. Analyze historical data and industry reports to identify periods of increased demand, such as holidays, sales events, or domain-specific peak times. Consider increasing your budget to capitalize on higher search volumes and greater consumer interest during these periods. Such a proactive approach helps ensure your ads remain competitive and visible when potential customers are most active. Monitoring market trends and dynamically adjusting your budget is important for maintaining optimal ad performance. This lets you capitalize on peak opportunities and avoid wasting valuable traffic. Understand your audience and market. Analyze your target audience's online behavior and your market's competitive landscape. This will help you customize your ad campaigns based on how your audience engages with digital content, including their favorite platforms, search habits, and purchasing behavior. In highly competitive markets, where numerous advertisers target the same audience, you may need to allocate a larger budget to ensure adequate visibility and differentiation. Similarly, if you're targeting a broader audience, consider increasing your budget to ensure the ads reach enough users to drive meaningful conversions. You should also carefully analyze your competitors' strategies, including their advertising expenditure and keyword targeting, to find opportunities and areas of potential growth in the market. Analyze historical data. Review past PPC campaign performance to understand cost per click trends and conversion rates. This data helps establish a baseline for your current budget needs. For brand awareness, use average CPC to estimate the budget required for a certain number of impressions or clicks. For lead generation, apply the average conversion rate to determine the number of clicks needed for target leads, then calculate the required budget using the average CPC. For direct sales, combine the average conversion rate with the average sale value to estimate the budget needed to attain revenue goals. For customer engagement, evaluate the average cost per engagement, CPE, by analyzing previous performance on platforms where your customers are most active. This metric lets you estimate the budget required to achieve the desired level of engagement. Evaluate performance. Conversion rates reflect ad effectiveness. Calculate the number of people your ads need to reach to meet your goals. For example, if the revenue goal is $10,000 per month, the average order value is $50, and the conversion rate is 2%, you'll have the following: 10,000 divided by 50. Then divide that by 0.02, that will equal 10,000. So your ad must reach 10,000 potential customers. Now that you're ready, let's proceed to fundamental formulas for total budget calculation. There are two primary methods to calculate PPC budget: revenue goal-based and conversion volume goal-based. Revenue goal-based calculation helps determine the budget needed to reach a specific revenue target. To calculate this, you must know your average CPC, revenue goal, average order value, and conversion rate. Then use the following formula. Let's suppose your revenue goal is $15,000. The average order value is $75. The conversion rate is 4%, and the average CPC is $1.50. So you need a total budget of $7,500 to reach your goal. Another approach is to use conversion volume goal-based calculation. It calculates like this. Suppose your goal is to generate 200 signups. The website conversion rate is 5%, and the average cost per click is $2. You would need approximately $8,000 to achieve 200 conversions. While it's essential to do the math correctly, understanding PPC budgeting scenarios is crucial for practical application and success. Let's explore some of the most widespread scenarios. Objective and task-based budget scenarios resemble what we mentioned before. When managing a PPC budget with specific objectives, you must align your spending with desired outcomes, such as generating leads, sign-ups, or sales. To achieve this, you should research market benchmarks like average cost per lead or cost per acquisition to ensure that your budget aligns precisely with targeted outcomes. Another common scenario is to view your PPC budget as an investment and allocate it strategically based on previous financial commitments and expected returns. For instance, if last year's marketing budget was $200,000 and you allocated 20% to PPC, you spent $40,000 on it. If you plan to keep the same percentage this year, it will remain $40,000, assuming the overall budget is unchanged. Otherwise, your PPC budget will adjust proportionally based on the new total. This approach aligns your ad spending with broader financial strategies. There's also a scenario called prior year budgeting, in which examining last year's PPC spending and performance metrics helps you plan the current budget. Suppose the previous year's budget was $50,000 and you achieved a 20% conversion increase. If you expect similar growth this year, consider increasing the budget by 20%, bringing it to $60,000. Adjust this amount for any strategic shifts or additional targets. By doing so, you incorporate past performance into your current budget planning, ensuring continuity and strategic alignment. In the case of percentage of sales budgeting, you tie the budget to a percentage of your total company revenue, making it adaptable to business growth. For example, if you allocate 5% of annual income to PPC and your revenue for the year is projected to be $1 million, the ad budget will be $50,000. As a result, this spending will scale proportionately to your business's financial performance. Remember that experiments are critical to discovering effective PPC strategies and scalable channels. So it's important to allocate a portion of your budget to test new hypotheses, target different audiences, and explore various ad positions. When you identify a successful strategy or channel, you can increase the budget to expand on those findings and maximize their impact. Now it's time to learn how to optimize your PPC budget management, whatever scenario you choose. Identify leaks in your funnel. To optimize your PPC budget, detect any leaks or inefficiencies in the funnel. Analyze each stage, from ad click to conversion, to pinpoint where potential customers might drop off. To identify issues with your funnel, you can use Coupler.io's Web Analytics dashboard template for Looker Studio. It has a separate tab dedicated to conversions with funnel visualization. For example, if you notice a high bounce rate on your landing pages, it could indicate issues with relevance or quality, leading to wasted spend. Check the link in the description to get this dashboard. Consider demographics. Use demographic data to customize your ad targeting and budget distribution. If analysis indicates that a specific age group or geographic location yields better results, consider adjusting your budget to prioritize these high-performing segments. Let's use this Facebook ads dashboard from Coupler.io as an example. It allows you to analyze metrics filtered by various demographic criteria, including geography. This will help ensure that your ads reach the most responsive audience. I'll leave the link to this dashboard in the description. Compare PPC budget across different platforms. Take a look at your advertising spendings on each platform. Evaluate the metrics from Google Ads, Meta Ads, and any other channels you use. Comparing their performance will help you understand which channels provide the best results and allocate your budget more efficiently. For this purpose, you can use the PPC multi-channel Looker Studio dashboard template, which combines data on spending and other metrics from various platforms into a single report. You can compare all your platforms' performance at once, or choose one or two. To get this dashboard, follow the link in the description. Adjust ad frequency. Regularly check your ads frequency to balance visibility and overexposure. If your data indicates that users see your ads too frequently without taking action, you should reduce the frequency to prevent diminishing returns on your budget. By the way, some of the dashboard templates made by Coupler.io have a special tool for tracking ad frequency. For instance, this LinkedIn ads dashboard template, or this Facebook ads dashboard template. I'll leave the link to both of these dashboards in the description. Analyze keywords for search ads. Track your keywords performance regularly to ensure you are spending your budget on the most effective terms. Google Ads Keywords Performance Dashboard provides data on various metrics for your search terms, so you can track how well each one is doing. Review metrics such as CTR, conversion rate, and CPC for each keyword. Pause or adjust bids for underperforming keywords, and invest more in high-performing ones. To grab this dashboard, follow the link in that description. Use indirect attribution. Consider the impact of your PPC ads on indirect metrics, such as branded traffic. For example, meta ads may increase brand awareness and drive more organic searches for your business. Understanding these effects provides an opportunity to optimize your digital marketing strategy. This Facebook ads and brand awareness dashboard template for Looker Studio might be helpful. It illustrates the dynamics of meta ads impressions and GSC branded impressions weekly. I will leave the link to this dashboard in that description. Allocate budget to niche platforms. Pay attention to channels offering unique opportunities for targeting specific audience segments. Allocate a portion of the budget to these platforms to diversify your reach and explore potential new traffic sources. Distribute the budget according to the campaign hierarchy. For example, segment your budget based on strategic objectives, such as brand awareness, lead generation, or direct sales. Allocate funds according to the importance and expected impact of each objective. You can also distribute your budget across different product or service lines based on their performance and profitability to ensure that high-value items receive adequate funding. Another way is to adjust your budget based on geographic performance. If certain regions generate more conversions or have higher sales potential, allocate more to these areas. Balance your PPC budget across the different stages of your sales funnel. Allocate a portion of your budget to top-of-funnel keywords to raise awareness and drive traffic. These keywords often have higher search volumes and lower conversion rates, but are crucial for attracting new prospects. Invest heavily in bottom-of-the-funnel keywords that target users closer to purchasing and typically have higher conversion rates. Remember to allocate a budget to branded keywords to capture users specifically searching for your brand. This will defend your brand from competitors and attract high-intent traffic. By the way, if you have no idea what top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel are, we have a great video on this topic. I'll leave the link in the description. And the last tip, before optimizing your PPC budget, start with the basics, tracking data on your ad spend. Let me show you how you can do this with the help of the PPC monthly budget dashboard template for Google Sheets. Monitor your monthly advertising spending regularly to ensure it aligns with your budget projections. If you notice a sudden increase in ad spending for 1 month, investigate the causes and adjust your budget allocations to stay on track. Monitor whether you exceed or fall short of your planned budget throughout the year. You can make necessary adjustments to your spending strategy by keeping track of these differences. It's also important to regularly monitor average daily expenses to understand if they fit into your daily budget limits. Analyzing your budget and costs for each ad platform is important for better understanding your PPC spending. This in-depth analysis allows you to identify which platforms provide the highest return on investment. Armed with this information, you can adjust your budget to focus on the well-performing platforms, ensuring that every dollar you spend helps you achieve your objectives. Remember to review your budget at the beginning of each month and set up alert systems to notify you if you are approaching your budget limits. These alerts can help you take proactive measures to prevent overspending. For example, if you receive a notification that your spending is nearing its monthly limit, you can pause or adjust your campaigns. And that's it. Now you know more about PPC budgeting. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, feel free to ask them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, share the video with others, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a thing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.